Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Playing with Palettes. I want to say if you hear some background noise, that's my fan because it's summer and it's hot and I want to stay cool. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Playing with Palettes. I am Lemons, not Limes, and it is a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining in, seeing this, all that good stuff. It's a fun time, right? Anyways, again, they've updated blockpalettes.com. I'm figuring things out, how to choose randomly. So I just decided, you know what, we're going to take the first 21 of these and we're going to pick a random one out of there. So we're going to go to palette number 11 today. So 3, 6, 9, 10, and 11. Ooh, it has the iron ore in here. That's a very interesting block to use. I'm digging that though. Iron ore. Okay. So this is our palette that we are going to be using today. Let's see how it goes, my dudes. Let's go. Have you ever looked at like a Minecraft build and you were like, this ain't looking right? Well, it might not be the build itself. It could be the land around it. Do you remember like a couple videos ago of playing a palettes where I talked about how like your Minecraft environment, like the build environment, can really affect your build, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at, right? So sometimes we make a build and something just is off. It doesn't look quite right. It might be the land around it, which, great transition here. Nailed it. Brings me to my topic today, which is terraforming, right? Terraforming. I think it's one of those words when you're getting into Minecraft building, it just kind of scares you. It's like, oh my gosh, terraforming. Changing the land around, right? That's going to help make or break your build. Is the land around. Terraforming is the difference between plopping a castle just in the middle of a field versus setting a castle on a cliff overlooking a river, right? It's not just decoration, it's creating an environment, telling a story, creating art. But terraforming is really important because, let's be honest, Minecraft's natural terrain, it's gotten better over the years. It has. It truly has. It's isn't always like pretty. It isn't always cooperative. You know, it's a random generation, so you're gonna get a lot of different things, and so sometimes that doesn't always match with the vibe of your build. When you terraform, you're creating a canvas essentially, right? You're creating that background art that fits your vision. Terraforming, it gives you scale and it brings like a sense of realism to your builds. Terraforming is just so scary as builders. Like, I will 100% admit it. When you start off terraforming, it's like, what the freak? Like, what the freak am I doing? So in this build, when I got this palette, I was kind of sitting and thinking, like, what the heck should I do with this? And the idea came to me, I want to make a mine, because this just feels like good mine vibes with this palette. But here's the thing, I do this series in a super flat world. Like, I ain't gonna find like a mountain or something to be able to go and put a mine into it. So I had to make a little baby mountain. It's just a little baby mountain with a little baby cliff, right? Does it look that great? No. I'll be honest, doesn't look that great, no, but it serves its purpose, right? And that's kind of what I'm getting at. With terraforming, you want to sit down and you want the land to like serve the purpose of your build, if that makes any sense. You want it to support your build. You want it to make it feel alive. You want the build that's sitting there and it sits there and it fits and it feels like it's always been a part of the world, right? Terraforming is just one of those things where it's like, it just helps you create the world that you want to see. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go for. Because that's it, man. You want to create the world that you want to see. And that's what it comes down to. If you want to start terraforming, again, I'm gonna say this. when you first get into building, it's making nice pretty builds, and then you start like getting into this terraforming stuff, and it's like it's kind of terrifying, and it feels really overwhelming because it's like, I can't make a mountain. Dude, you ain't supposed to make a mountain first. Well, let's be honest. I've made like 2 mountains in my life, and it's kind of awful. It takes a lot of time. It's fun, but it takes a lot of time. Do not recommend it. Anyways, that's a side tangent. But if you want to start terraforming, there's essentially 4 steps you can take to start kind of getting into the groove with it. So first and foremost, you want to think in layers. Now hear me out. This is I know it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but it does. But think in layers, right? You want to think about first, like, what's the shape you're trying to make? Are you trying to make like a soft round shape, like a hard jagged shape, right? So you want to start with the shape of whatever you're building. Are you terraforming a river? Is this going to be a straight river? Is it going to be nice and curvy? Right? So that's kind of what you want to think about, right? What's going to be the shape of whatever you're terraforming? Mountain, little hills, rivers, whatever it is, boulders. Think of the shape. And then you want to start thinking about like the texture and stuff, like what are the blocks you're going to use? What texture are you going to use? Where are the shadows going to be? Things like that. And then you start adding like details like the plants and things like that. So that's the first step, right? Think in layers. You just want to break it down. Don't look at a whole huge build of I need to do the X, Y, and Z. Just think I need to do X. That's what you need to start. So 2, you want to use like big. Think big. Use big. I don't know where I was going with that first sentence, but think big, right? So you could be in a creative world or you could be in a survival world, where whatever it is, you first want to start broad. Start with the big overall picture, right? If you're making a mountain, start with the big shape of the mountain and then just start putting in blocks, right? And then you start refining. You just start big and then you go smaller, right? So yeah, you first get the big stuff. Again, this goes with thinking in layers, but first you start big and then you start breaking it down. You start adding in that texture. You start adding in the little plants and things like that. But when you start big, it's a lot easier to do it and kind of break down. Okay. Number 3, look at the nature around you. Notice how the hills look. Notice how the trees look. Just notice the things around you and how they look and use real life as your inspiration. And 4, you want to build up. Minecraft, a lot of times we build out, but build up. Minecraft terrain can be especially flat, so adding kind of like elevation and making things where you have to look up, it makes things a lot easier and it makes things very interesting. So those are kind of those 4 tips for you right then and there. So yeah, that's my thing for you. Terraforming, it's scary, it's big, but you know what? It will seriously elevate your builds if you seriously just sit down and start doing it. Like, highly recommend, just sit down, start doing it, start practicing it, and it's going to elevate your builds. That's all I got. The end. To end this video, I wanted to show you guys something. It is my very first terraforming project. The first attempt I ever made at terraforming, and the first time I ever terraformed something. Yep. Okay, here it is. This is it. This is my little village. I love this little village with all my heart. But this is my very first terraforming project, right? It started with this right here, this hill. This maybe 10 tall block hill, whatever it is, right? Very small hill. And so I made this hill and then I built up this village around it. I came and I made this little cliff face mountain thing. Look at that. This little cliff face mountain thing. I made this river to go around it. Added all these trees. Added the flowers, the grass, whatever you see. And added, of course, all the little buildings and things like that. And yeah, this is what I made. This is what I came up with, right? And is it extraordinary? Is it awesome? I think it's pretty awesome. I'll admit that. I love this build. I do with all my heart. But this is the very first thing that I made. This is the very first attempt at terraforming, right? And so it's so hard to start, you know? I've said it, right? As builders, we hear terraforming and it's like, oh my gosh, like that is just awful. I don't want to do it. Is it time consuming? Yes, but so is building. And I cannot emphasize this enough when I say, I cannot emphasize this enough when I say being able to terraform is going to elevate your build. 1000% it's going to elevate your build to a point that you'll be surprised, right? Even if it's just a tiny hill. But you know what? We all need to start somewhere. And if you start at the tiny hill, that's awesome. Start at the tiny hill and do it. Okay? You just need to start and you just need to do it. Okay, homies? Promise me that. Terraforming. It sucks. It's time consuming. But it's one of those skills that if you start doing it and you get it down, your skills as a builder is going to go up, okay? Man, yeah. All right, homies. Thank you so much for watching. That's officially the end. I don't think I have anything else to say. We'll see. Yeah, officially the end. Thank you for watching. Seriously appreciate it. Wee. Anyways, if you're liking this, you should subscribe. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay. I'm floating over water. All right. Bye.